All right, greetings. Greetings, welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all feeling? We are live on Callin, Rockfin, and on YouTube. Hello, Rockfin people. How you doing? Thank you for the birthday wishes, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that. It is my birthday. All right. Well, let's get to going. More heat waves, more heat wave stuff. We'll just start from the top. That's actually something I don't want to lose at the moment. Say what? Oh, that's weird. StreamYard changed the name of something that I was trying to do, and then I was like, confused. All right. Ben C. After suffering what was described as the worst heat wave in world climatic history back in August, China is now being hit by a totally unprecedented episode of extreme October heat, leaving climatologists stunned. And all the journalists of the world ignored it completely. And that's all right. As in, not okay at all. Number one, catastrophic, mind-blowing, crazy. 40.9 C in October. That is very, very warm. Extremely warm. And this has been going on for a straight month. These heat waves in China. Unprecedented. And, but people want to tell themselves a different story about this. I understand why. Some things are just a bit much. Anyways, we'll keep moving. But that is going on. That's still going on, and looks like it will continue to go on. Something from Scott Duncan. Extreme heat to start October with 3 national records. Oh my God, what's going on? Oh, what happened to all the what happened to the global warming they were talking about 30 years ago? What happened to the they keep on saying that we have 10 more years, but nothing ever happens. I don't know. Is nothing happening? You tell me. I guess if you don't talk about it, it's not happening. I guess if you don't cover it, it's not happening. You can just keep on talking about things that are not in reality. And like, I got them. I'm so smart. Turkey, 41.2 C. Cyprus, 41.2 C. China, 40.9 C. That is wild. That's wild, folks. Obsolete optics. Yeah, you're listening. You got us on Callin. More people will join in. Callin is funny. I really love the app, actually. Shout out to Callin, the Callin app. For one thing, I talk about whatever I want to talk about on Callin, and they don't seem to have any issues with that. So that's really cool. And I like how it works. It's really quite easy to use. I dig it. But it's weird because some days I'll have like no listeners on Callin, and then other days I'll have like many listeners, 10 or something. And then there's another thing that goes on with Callin app where it's like people are listening, but you can't see that they're listening or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if there's like a stealth mode you can put on where you can listen to things but not really show up as yourself, or I don't know what that is. But anyways, it's cool. There we go. We got another listener on Callin. More people will pile in usually as the show goes on. Anyways, wild, wacky, insane heat waves. Meanwhile, there's... Oh, I guess I'll show this. Oh, maybe I won't show this. Meanwhile, Luke Rudowski is like, got a meme about Greta Thunberg being an old lady saying like, oh, 30 years ago I predicted we only had 12 years left. And I was like, are you even paying attention to what is going on in the world now? Apparently not. Apparently, if you're just sitting in your air-conditioned studio, you don't have to really pay attention to anything. And you can continue to misinform people. That's awesome. Wow, this is really... Look, I just saw this. Maybe I'll save this for the end of the show. This is really crazy. What? This is a really crazy video about China and zero COVID. We'll talk about it at the end of the show. Just popped up in my feed. I'm sure other people will be talking about this very, very soon. From Lee Camp, one of my favoriteest anti-establishment type journalists who also understands that climate change is a thing that's actually happening. He says he's retweeting a headline about California suffering through driest 3 years ever recorded with no relief in sight. Driest 3 years ever recorded. It sounds like another record-breaking situation, right? Supposedly, according to some people, nothing is going on. Nothing to see here. Nothing is happening. There's absolutely no... They're just making this up, and we're just, they're blowing things out of proportion. But, California's suffering through its, 3 driest years ever. But nothing is happening. Nothing at all. But anyways... Lee Camp says, fun fact, you save as much water by skipping one hamburger as skipping 2 months of showering. You could actually say that about it. It's true about beef. It uses quite a bit of water. That is true. Also, many, many vegetables use a lot of water too. Like almost all of our, food getting, everywhere we get food, it uses a lot of water. The issue, the issue is is more one of scale than it is like, obviously I'm a vegetarian and I support people not eating meat. I think it's a better thing for people on the planet, but you do you. But what I was going to say is this is an issue of scale. Caller, I see you. I'm not going to take calls right this second. If you can hold on in about 10 minutes, I'll take some calls. I appreciate it though. Just hang out and I'll get you. It's one of scale. So, yes, meat uses a lot of water. Other vegetables use a lot of water. Agriculture uses a lot of water. But it's not as much what we're using as how many people are using it, the water, the groundwater, sucking up all the groundwater. It's more of like, what, how many millions of people are insisting on having all this stuff all the time is the thing that's actually sucking up all the resources. Yes, this is true. You could save a lot of water by not eating meat. Or you could have a lot less people wanting to eat meat or any other things, right? Or, using, consuming, buying, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we can't talk about that. We're not supposed to be talking about that. Nobody's supposed to talk about that. You're a bad person. You're anti-human. You're whatever you are, eugenicist. Right? We can't have that conversation because, oh my God, my heads will explode if we have a calm, rational, reasoned assessment of the situation. Anyways, but I do like Lee Camp. I like that. Like Lee Camp is one of the few, the proud people that are still talking about, that continue to talk about climate change, as if it is a real thing, because it is a real thing, and not only an element of control. This is good. This is on my thumbnail. Here is my art. I am sharing it here. For billions of years, rainwater was drinkable. Capitalism has ended this. It's very simple. I don't know if you call that a triptych, but a very simple cartoon. Anyways, I liked it. That's why I grabbed it. All right. Let's keep going. This is great. This is a woman giving a statement while she's being carried by police. I think she's in the Just Stop Oil protests. I can't seem to get sound on this, of course. We'll try it again. Come on, sound. You can do it. Maybe I need to do the trick of making sound somewhere else. Maybe that'll do the trick. It's really annoying. Let's see. Come on. You can do it. You got this. Come on, Twitter. You can work. Interestingly, I find that some videos, anyways, I'm not going to, she's just basically saying, she's giving a statement about why she's protesting oil, Just Stop Oil, et cetera, and she's doing all this while being, very calmly, while being carried by, well, at least I can show it to you, the people that have the video, while being carried away by several police officers. Here we go.
The government's inaction on climate change is a death sentence to us all. I'm doing this for my son. The government's inaction on climate change is a death sentence to us all. The United Nations have said we should have no new oil. Liz Truss wants to open 130 new oil licenses. That's a death sentence to this planet. I'm doing this.
All right. There you go. And this is titled, How to Do a Media Interview While Being Carried Away by Police for Protest. 10 out of 10, no notes. Let's see. More heat waves. Hey, guess what? We have more heat waves. Guess what? Who's covering all of this? I wonder. Is anybody covering this? Massive. I mean, this, is anybody covering this? Is anybody really telling you what's going on with the planet? A massive heat wave is bringing extremely high temperatures across many countries in the southern part of Africa, with Namibia hitting 43.7 C. Namibia has been experiencing persistent drought conditions for more than 7 years. This year looks no different, a real threat to life. 43.7 C, that is quite warm. I don't know what that translates to in Fahrenheit, but it's over 100 and something. I'm going to say that's in the 108 range, maybe more. More. Well, what's next to China? Answer: Japan. Japan is setting heat wave records as well. Non-stop record heat in Japan, besides over 100 records of max temperatures the past 2 days. The past days had many records of highest minimums first two tables. So, right, the high or lows are also something that's contributing to people and planet being very uncomfortable. Today, on the 4th of October, 16 more records of monthly highest temperatures were broken, with up to 33.4 C, etc. Man, it seems like something's happening. Seems like the planet is getting warmer. I wonder what it could be. And in a confluence of, we got to keep on destroying the planet, and we got to make sure that all the police are armed in order to do so. Here's a story about across the U.S. police departments, large and small, are retiring their Crown Victorias for SUVs. If you haven't noticed, I mean, that's been happening for quite a while. Whenever I see a regular police car, I'm always like kind of shocked because they don't drive regular cars anymore. They drive SUVs, all of them, everywhere. So it's just like the new thing because they're, SUVs are little mini tanks. So, why wouldn't they prefer to drive a little mini tank around instead of a car? A car doesn't make you look tough enough. Anyways, but that's not, of course, that is impacting the climate as well, or impacting the biosphere. We'll look at this for a second. The SUVification of police fleets. The NYPD is on its way to becoming an all SUV fleet. Yeah, well, I mean, the sheriffs where I live all drive SUVs, all of them. Anyway, since 2017, more than half of all police vehicles sold in the U.S. are cop customized Explorers. Chicago jumped on the oversized bandwagon, so they're just going in the opposite direction of being like chilled out. But we are an overly militarized country when it comes to the police. Nobody wants to drive little cars. And certainly, oh my God, suggesting the police not be armed as highly as they're armed. What are you, crazy? Surely people suggest it, but nobody in power is going to. I mean, the Democrats just voted to give police more money. The Democrats, right? Supposedly Republicans are the fascists, but Democrats just voted to give the police here's way more bucks for stuff. Anyways, that happens. All right, so we've reached a little break, mid-show ish. Going to check the coffees. Did anybody buy me a coffee today or leave me a message? No. Rock Fins, we got some tips. Oh, by the way, thank you for the tip. Who is this? Got a tip on Rock Fin. Basil Peterson, another trip around the sun. Thank you. Thank you, Basil. And I did get a Rockfin tip yesterday, after show, post show. Where is it? From John House. Thank you, John House. I appreciate the tip. All right. So let's take a call if anybody wants to call in. Now is a good time to call in because I'm going to go back to looking at stories and such. And I may be jumping off of YouTube. I don't know. Any takers? I don't know if the person that wanted to call earlier is still listening. Maybe they're not here. That's fine. I like to make sure y'all are real serious about calling in. There's serious people. I already know who you are, so thank you, serious people, for being serious. But some people are not all that serious, and some people just want to like mosey on through the shows and just call people in. You know, call. The app is called Call-In, so I guess that's cool. But anyways, if we don't have any callers, I'm gonna jump off of YouTube, and you can follow the rest of the show on the YouTube. YouTubers, peace out. See you all tomorrow at noon, 12 p.m.